Yeah, y'all come on into the building, man. We got a lot to talk about today. We talking franchise altering. We talking the next move be your best move. We are in the building today, and we're gonna get into it as we do. We're talking the state of the franchise, man. So let's get into it.
Appreciate it, Mr. Davis. What's up? This is Thomas Davis, man, and you are watching the Black Cat Panther podcast. Make sure y'all tune in all season long.
Yeah, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking them all? Ay, ay, walking the door, you know what happened, we step on the floor. Ay, ay, coming from on, you don't want partners, you already know it. Ay, ay, come on my to it, you already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm locked in, and I feel like Mark 10. Ay, walking to a room, chest up with my chin. Ay, already finished for this joint, even begin. Ay, win is what I am, I cannot ever pretend. Ay, yeah, never pretend. Ay, back in the lab again. Ay, you when not touching the friends, ayy. You when not touching the kin, ayy. Putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is, ayy. Switching the moves, no number two, I came in to win. They said I'm tapped in with the action, they got the master on the master. I can never move passive, I'm active, I can make them go ghost on this cast. But wanna know who running it, just ask us. On the track, I'm gunning it, I'm blasting this, that gas, that diesel, shack and dog.
You know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat, ayy, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast, my whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd like to take this time to welcome each and every one of you guys to the Black Cat Panther podcast, man. Look, it's time to talk about it. I have been on a certain guy's desktop to keep this team in line. There is one guy that I have said I must hold to a certain level of accountability when it comes to rebuilding the Carolina Panthers. My expectations are high. The mood has been set. It is now Valentine's Day, and I sit across the table from one Dan Morgan. Now, in this relationship that we have sat here with, I am sitting across the table and asking this man to be open. I am asking this man to be transparent. I'm also asking him to make sure that he understands in this relationship we must go forward. I don't ask for much, but it seems to be each and every time I ask this guy to come out here to rebuild a foundation, because in order to get to where you want to get to, you got to start from the bottom and build a foundation. Tidy, what's going on, cuz? Wiley, what's happening? Man, it's good to see y'all brothers up in here today, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe on the way in. Like I said, in order to lay a foundation, you must have building blocks. You must have stepping stones. You must have a creative way of putting things together that you can look and you can say, hey, this is my building piece. This is where I want to go. This is a 2 to 5 year plan of how I see things. As a GM, you must be far-sighted. You must be looking down the road. I am saying that I judge a man off of the principles that he stand on. I am judging Dan Morgan so far off of what he has done last season, and everybody told me that I shouldn't. I should not judge him off of that draft from last year. The draft in which we saw a wide receiver taken with the first round, and now the wide receiver, the fans are calling for him to sit down. In the second round, you saw the running back that couldn't get out of Atrium Health is still sitting inside Atrium Health. Your third round selection, Young Bulls, what I like to call him. He is the best selection out of everybody that has been taken in last year's draft. Trevor Wallace hasn't gotten many opportunities. He's been hurt. But we understand you can see talent like that right there. You can see talent from this young man. You already know what time it is when you come up in here. The truth shall be told every time I open my two black ass lips. And the niggatry today is off the charts. So shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, D? How you living? Let me tell y'all something, man. I expect nothing less than to have a contender built here in Carolina. Now, goddamn it, one way or another, as the man and a half that I say that I am, I'm going to get this shit done. And I shall hold that goddamn GM to a level of expectations that nobody else around here will. So let it be known, Dan Morgan, I don't give a fuck how you do it. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you go to the dollar store, the thrift store, the candy store, Walmart. I don't give a goddamn how you do it. Get bodies in the building. At the end of the day, there has been rumors all around Carolina. The rumors are that the Carolina Panthers are looking to enhance their team defensively. There's even talks of potential trade-ups to try to bring players in. I'm hearing from 8, we potentially looking to trade up with a trading partner in the top 5 to be able to get superstar players. You get what I'm saying? Here are we. What has to be given up to be able to make moves of that level? Because think about it. When we were sitting at 9, we had to give up DJ Moore. We had to give up a future draft picks. We gave up about 4 or 5 picks just to move up from 9 to 1. And now I'm hearing rumblings out here that Dan Morgan is looking to trade up from 8 to potentially 4. You know who sits at 4? It's the New England Patriots. Now, I've been hearing this for the last couple of days. I said, you know what? I'm going to sit back, eat my cheese sandwich, and I just ain't going to say a goddamn thing. But it keeps bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. We have 9 picks in this potential draft. Like I said, the Eagles just won this Super Bowl. And I'm under the impression that bald-head son of a bitch named David Tepper is sitting where he decides that we got everything we need. We just need to make sure that we solidify the defense. Okay, here comes this shit here. You know what? I'm not going there today. He said, wasn't the rebuilding of the O-line foundation? Oh my God. That's very foundational, driver. He said he just asking. Well, when you do a blueprint on the foundation of the team, saying it's the strength of the team, which is now the offensive line, yeah, just along the stuff that they come up with, it beheaves me. I never understand how do they come up with this shit, man. I think they really overthink each and every one of these situations. They overthink them. Tony McClan, what's going on with you? He said, what's going on? Let me tell you something, man. The closer and closer we get to this draft, the antsier this organization is going to get. One, because they feel like they need to make a splash. Our owner, which is the reason why we always in situations, seemingly wants to elevate us by jumping up in the draft once again and going in to try to get a big name, a big splash. Now, be mindful. Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. Abdul Carter probably going number 2 overall to the Browns. You basically missed out on that guy. Because of the situation that's going on with Myles Garrett, you will not probably get an opportunity to look Abdul Carter's way. But They're looking at potentially a generational player in Mason Graham, and I believe they may have their eyes locked in on Mason Graham. Now, I know you said, Q, what's the problem with that? There is no problem with Mason Graham. But how do you go about getting and acquiring a Mason Graham is the biggest issue. If you think about it, Mason Graham is probably potentially one of the best players in this draft. Defensively, you got a guy that can play in any scheme. You have a guy that can come out here, play 0 to 5 technique, and he can be the guy for your defense besides Derek Brown, because Derek Brown has had an injury in his triceps biceps. That's a muscle-based injury, which is going to take away a little bit of what he does best, his physicality, how physical he is at the line of scrimmage, at the point of attack. So you're going to need another guy that can come beside him and anchor this defense. So hear me and hear me clearly. There is nothing wrong with acquiring Mason Graham. But in a team, for a team that needs so much, it would be a problem to give away all of your talent. The farm is what I like to call it. Say you got 9 picks, which that's what we got here. If you give away 4 of them to move up to from 8 to 4, you just shot yourself in the foot. In a draft that's so heavy, so defensively, what's the word? Defensively superior. This is a superior D-line, D-tackle draft. This has probably been one of the deepest drafts that I have seen in a while at the defensive tackle, defensive line position. So in that area where you have all this potential that's sitting there, what I'm telling you as your neighborhood friendly Dub Q, your local Spider-Man around this sumbitch, you don't have to reach for anybody. If Mason Graham is gone, guess what? You got 3 other tackles that you can fit into a scheme. Now, granted, Mason Graham is the most bang for your buck, effective player on the defense right now, other than Abdul Carter. He's going to plug into your system right now and give you right now moments. So don't mistake it for anything. You still got Walter Nolan. If you're looking at D tackles and you say that's the cream of the crop of what we want to do, you got a bevy of guys, like I said, that you can list out here and say, hey, Walter Nolan. You got Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is supposed to be going in the top 20. Now, if I'm sitting at 8 and Mason Graham is gone, I could trade back a couple of spots, maybe a handful of spots, and acquire another pick and take a Grant or a Walter Nolan or any of those guys that's sitting there at D tackle that you deem that you could look at this team and say, hey, we need. If you want to go the route of a James Pierce, he'll be sitting there. If you want to go, like I said, them Georgia boys is sitting right there. I like them Georgia boys. You just seen the Philadelphia Eagle build their line off of Georgia. Make no mistake about that shit there. The best boys to go and get is them Georgia boys on that line. Because at the end of the day, they battle tested. They strong. They effective. I'll take them boys any day of the week. I hear people talk about Mike Green. They talk about potentially looking at some of these other guys. I'm not taking that guy over the Georgia battle-tested guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. It's just not in my bloodstream to go and grab a guy from a smaller school playing lesser competition and expecting him to come out and be a superstar. It's just not there. Not for me. But for some other team, kudos to you. I congratulate you on the potential nigga that you may get. He might be successful for you. If he can bum rush every time he huddle up, if that's what you want him to do. I'm under the impression this team has to be built. Dan Morgan is who I'm holding accountable. Like I said, if everybody around here likes to turn their head. They say he did without sin cast the first stone. Everybody around here turned their head to last year's draft. They say that shit didn't matter. He inherited a mess. They said that, okay, him bringing in and acquiring some of these guys last year and all that trading around and shit that he did in the second round, and they want to wipe that slate clean. That's what they want to do. So if y'all willing to wipe the slate clean with Dan Morgan and what the fuck he just did last year, I'm willing to sit here and say you a crazy son of a bitch. People, he is showing you what he is right now. Once again, I'm holding him accountable. I cannot afford to fuck another draft up, because let me tell you something, man. This draft is dummy proof. In the first 3 rounds, this draft is dummy proof. There hasn't been a person around here that hasn't done a mock draft of some type of sort and say, okay, the weaknesses of this team right now is that we got ran right up the middle of the gap. Everybody and their mama know this. The weaknesses of the team is particularly on the D-line in the trenches. So what did that mean you need to fix? The trenches. You didn't have Derek Brown last year, and adding him back with a potential Mason Graham or a Walter Nolan or a Kenneth Grant would do wonders for the trenches. The problem is getting us to commit to doing this without that bald head son of a bitch jumping in the middle of it. Because that's the problem. Every time you make a pick, you got to run it by David Tepper. I need Dan Morgan to execute the 2 things that he got between his legs that's called nuts, and tell that motherfucker to sit down. Allow the football people to do football decisions. That is a must. Until we have that part in place, we are in, once again, I like to call it a limbo status, a status where you're sitting in the middle, where you can't get better or you don't get any worse because of the situation. The situation is David Tepper is not going to allow us to be better. Dan Morgan has no pushback or no nuts to sit here and put him in his place. So as long as you have a yes man for a GM, you are in trouble as a franchise. Now y'all talk shit about Howie Roseman last year when Tampa Bay beat them, but look what they had this year. Look what they had this year. Super Bowl. They just tasted the ultimate graces, like I said, after potentially a 3-year turnaround. 3-year turnaround. If you have a good GM and it starts from the top, your owner could be shitty. But if you have a GM that's making football moves, player personnel, bringing the right guys in the building, it don't make a fuck what the owner does. Don't make a fuck what he do. I'm so tired of people looking past Dan Morgan like he isn't the most important thing to us building. Now be mindful, last year you allowed Brian Burns, you allowed Jeremy Chin, you allowed Frankie Louvu, you allow a bevy of other players to walk out of this door. Jeremy Chin had 100 tackles this past season at Washington. Brian Burns went and got 9 sacks up there in New York. Frankie Louvu only made a goddamn All-Pro in Washington, which shows you, had Frankie Louvu got more exposure, or had we been winning more, he probably wouldn't have leave. But he made the right choice in going to Washington, because this franchise here plays way too much. They play with the fans. They play, especially they play. Look at here. When you draft a Jamie Robinson, when you go and you trade up and you get a DJ, a DJ Johnson, I'm still waiting on that nigga to show up because it's been 3 years. What are you doing at this point? You trade away your second round pick, Mango, that you went and got for the young quarterback that you selected that same year. This is a laughing stock of an organization when it comes to making forward progressive moves. And the idea here is to progress every single year. And when I say progress, I don't mean you come out, you go from 7 games to 2 games. I say progress forwardly. Not come out here and you win 5 games, but you struggle. You got to bench your QB in the middle of a fucking season. Let's just be real and let's call a spade a spade. The way that we trending right now, Dan Morgan has to come out here and effectively hit on at least 4 picks out of this 9 picks that he got right here in order to keep his job. Just keep his motherfucking job. Because if he has another draft, because think about it, out of this draft we had this year, Trevor Wallace is one of your best players. Ja'Tavion Sanders is your next best, where he gave you 300 yards on the season. Other than that, the 7 picks that you brought in through the door, only 2 of them was worthwhile. And you didn't get much production from those 2. Hell, you traded your 7th round guy. So what I'm saying is he can't afford to come out here, especially after going to the podium upon the exit interviews and saying what he said about how he took away from Ajero Evero pieces that could have made the defense more effective. He said this out of his mouth. The GM went to the podium and said he crippled the defensive coordinator. I told you motherfuckers. I told you sons of bitches this shit here. But it took him coming to the podium for y'all motherfuckers to listen. I've been talking to a blind eye audience. I've been talking to people and telling them the truth. You label me everything in the book. You don't want to hear the truth. Dan Morgan goes up there and say he put Ajero Evero in a hell of a damn spot. He acknowledged that. When people say that he was going to get fired, Ajero Evero was going to be walking out of the door, Dan Morgan say, I realized I took away from this man. And I realized also looking at Vic Fangio, who is a disciple, Ajero Evero is a disciple of him and Don Capers. You just saw in the Super Bowl in the defense. That's the same damn defense you want to run here in Carolina. You just saw them 8 Patrick Mahomes alive. Motherfucker told me that literally defense don't matter no more. Motherfucker tell me don't even worry about a linebacker. Don't even worry about getting a linebacker. I've been told so much traumatizing shit. So I don't even know which way to go. Up, down, left, right. They tell me what's right is wrong now. They tell me up is down now. Which way? How do we maintain around here anymore? We in bizarro world. The shit that should matter for competent teams don't matter here in Carolina. The fans here put emotion over statistics and logic. They put emotion over all that. And then they'll talk to you like you crazy when you say, hey, a wide receiver is not going to come in here and fix the entire problem of the team. That's not going to make that much of a dent. You got to come in here and fix this thing layer upon layer upon layer. You got to start with the defense. And if your GM isn't sitting down considering fixing this defense, what the fuck is he doing? I just need to know. Because the number one problem right now should be fixing this. Stopping the run should be number one. What goes in the stop and run? D tackles, linebackers, and edge rushers that can set the edge. You must commit to those 3 spots to be able to stop the damn run. And once you get that shit mastered, then you can take levels and go to the next level. But that's the problem. We're trying to paint a whole picture and we don't even know what color blends with what color. The colors is not blending. You run a 3-4, effectively get a 3-4 in the door. Get 3-4 personnel in the building. Y'all call me crazy. Nobody wants to listen to me. Okay. You keep doing shit the way you doing it, and I promise you, your ass is going to be sitting outside the playoffs every single year. And your GM should know better. Because if I can't, think about it. If you turn over a new GM within the first year of the first season, you should start seeing growth exponentially. Like Washington, they turned over a new GM, and guess what? They went from 4 wins to fucking 11. I'm sorry, they went to 12 wins. They went from 4 wins to 12 wins. Why? Because they got the right guy in the building. Harry Roseman turned around the Eagles because he was the right guy in the building. You're looking around at most of these teams around here. It starts from the front of the building. Now, I'm telling you guys, with the combine coming up, with draft around the corner, which is April, it is now time for your GM to be putting on a full display of scouting, getting these guys in here, and right now he should be having a team put together, the undrafted free agents. He should be looking at undrafted guys immediately right now. You should already have your scout plan put together by now. You should be looking at guys if this guy doesn't make it, to the 7th round, we need to have, because one thing we need to do is have a competitive roster. So we need to have guys in here that can come in here and push the guys that are currently on the roster. And if some of them make it, so hey, if you can't push out an undrafted guy, so the fuck well. That's what we at now. Your GM should be putting together a list of guys that he project to go in the 7th round and project to go undrafted, and he should have a list of guys that's sitting there with their names on it, of guys that he deemed important enough to go and pick up the phone and say, hey, let's bring you in for a contract. Let's see if we can work and put you on the practice squad. Let's see if we can get you through the door. Hey, once again, they just did the shit in Washington. So don't tell me the shit is not achievable. They just did it in Houston. Don't tell me the shit is not achievable. Houston, Texas done made the playoff 2 goddamn years in a row. And they were one of the worst franchises known to man before they got their quarterback and their coach over there. So y'all say our quarterback and our coach is on the same level as them, right? That's what y'all say. I keep telling y'all they ain't. But y'all telling me Canales and Young and Morgan, all of those guys could turn around this franchise? It shouldn't take 10 years to do it. There ain't no reason why we should be sitting around this motherfucker waiting. I shouldn't be getting gray hair in my beard waiting on them boys to get this shit done. You shouldn't be the Detroit Lions where it take you damn near 20 years to fix this problem that should be fixable within 2 years. Because we've been rebuilding since 2017. So what the fuck are we doing? Tell me, how are we rebuilding every year but we ain't getting better? Make it make sense to me. My man Terrence Tate said, what made me mad is why I bring back a defensive coordinator who allows so many yards. Terrence Tate, listen to what I just said. Your GM took players that could stop the run and cover. Your GM took those players away from your defensive coordinator. Your defensive coordinator had to go out there with bandaged players. He didn't have a lot of guys throughout the year. You signed DJ Wanham, he was hurt half of the year. You signed, like I said, you let Brian Burns walk. Y'all talk shit about Burns like he wasn't shit, but he was actually a very good player, under 25 at the time. You let Frankie Louvu leave here, who was your best linebacker on the roster, your best linebacker that could stop the run. You let him walk out of here. You didn't get a draft pick for him. That's on your GM. That's why your GM allowed Ejiro Evero to stay here another year, because he said, oh shit, I should have done more to help this guy. but instead I hurt him more. He said it. Dan Morgan said it in the press conference. I'm not telling you any lies here. When you lose a player on each level, that's a building block. You lose your star edge rusher. He is a star, whether y'all want to believe it or not. You lose your star linebacker, Frankie Louvu. He is a star, whether you believe it or not. Go look. He just made All-Pro. Jeremy Chin, your star safety. Out of the 4 years he been in the league, he had 3 years where he made 100 tackles. Last year was the only year he didn't make 100 tackles because he didn't want to play in the scheme. All I'm saying is take your time. You just lost 3 pivotal players on your entire team, your roster, and your GM didn't make up for that production. Your GM say, okay, I'm going to replace Brian Burns with DJ Wanham. DJ Wanham was hurt half of the year, so there go the production out the door. Derek Brown gets hurt, no production. You look around, Frankie Louvu walks, no production. You didn't have a linebacker. You go sign Josie Jewell, and Josie Jewell is a shell of himself. And he's not going to be able to roam freely because he don't have nobody in front of him on that D-line that could help him. This is football logic 101. We talking right here. We talking football 101. If your linebacker can't get free to make plays because offensive linemen are meeting him at the second level, he can't be successful. So as a GM, if you don't have great D tackles in front, space eaters, you hurting your team. That's what I'm talking about right here. I'm breaking it down to you folks today. You must have layers in place for your young team to thrive. That's why we aren't looking successful on a team that gave up 3,000 historic yards on the ground. You didn't have any D tackles this year, and you didn't have any linebacker play. The 2 most important things to a defense: D tackle play, linebacker play, and then you damn sure ain't got no edge rushers. Like I said, when you push Burns out the door in Louisville, that was 17.5 sacks right there, walking out of the door. We were almost damn near dead last in sacks this year. Damn near dead last. Because y'all told me Jadeveon Clowney was going to come in, who ain't never, his highest sack output was 9.5 last year on Baltimore with Roquan Smith in the crew, the all-pros over there, where everybody getting single, they're getting one-on-ones, not double coverage, not being double teamed. So what do you expect to happen? Your team is deficient on defense. And everybody that they brought in to make up for the players that walk out of the door was either hurt or incompetent. Hurt or incompetent. You lose Jeremy Chin, you go and you bring Fuller in at the safety position. He was incompetent all year. The first couple of weeks of the year, he was having blown coverages all over the field. You saw it. You saw it in the blowout against the Saints. You saw it in the blowout against the Chargers, the 34-10 game that we got our ass handed to us. You saw blown coverage after blown coverage. That's why we were getting our asses handed to us. Joe Burrow, when he came to us, what did he do? Another one. Put the numbers on our ass. All I'm saying is we to the point now where if you're going to build a team, you have to do it correctly and you have to hold the GM accountable, because too many teams are getting first-year coaches and first-year GMs and turning this thing around very fast, faster than us. Because there's no way that we should be turning around and after 7 years, we're still sitting in limbo. 7 going on 8 now. This will be the 8th year. We're sitting in limbo. We're not getting better and we're not worse. We're middle of the pack. We're winning 5 games consistently year in and year out. That's not cutting it. I don't give a damn what y'all got to say when it comes to, are we doing this shit right? Because clearly we're not doing it right. If you're getting 5 wins and 5 wins and 5 wins, the problem is what system you have in place. Now you can blame the defensive coordinator all year, or you could blame the motherfucker who took all the players from the defensive coordinator. Let's see. Who should I blame? Who should I blame? That's like you working on your job. And I'm gonna put myself in perspective. I drove trucks for years for a company that did milk. Number one, I'm supposed to deliver milk to X amount of companies. Whatever company that I'm supposed to be taking it to, I did that for years. They give me no truck. They give me no equipment to deliver the milk with, but they still say, hey, you got to get the job done. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Put the milk on my back? It's one of those expectations where I say it's outrageous to think that a person could come out here and realistically try to get a job done and he don't have the tools or the equipment to get it done. It's not realistic. It's one of them ones where I'm tired of explaining it to people because it seems like people don't even get it anymore. Seems like they don't even get it. It's one of those ones where if I have to tell you where the defensive coordinator got his legs chopped off by the GM getting rid of players. I mean, think about it. You get rid of Von Bell. He was a starting caliber safety. You get rid of Jeremy Chin, who was your other starting caliber safety. And then you put a motherfucker in there like Fuller. Or you look around and you get a corner of a JC's caliber that's there. And then you go and you get rid of what's my man that was here last year that was balling his ass off and they got rid of him in camp. Bad motherfucker too. I liked him. He deserved it. They gave him a 2-year deal and then they turned around and cut him in camp. Didn't make a damn bit of sense. Anybody in the chat, help me out with that one. The corner, the corner that we had in here that we got from the Rams last year, and he played because JC got hurt last year, and he played majority of the year, and we signed him at the end of the last year and gave him a 2-year contract, and then turned around and cut him. I cannot remember his name to save my life. Troy Hill, thank you, Troy Hill. I liked Troy Hill. Troy Hill was a dog. But then we turned around, we cut him and go get Michael Jackson and bring that some bitch in here. And all he did was tap dance his ass around them plays on the field. So I appreciate y'all for that help on Troy Hill. Man, I like Troy Hill, and that shit hurt me when they cut that motherfucker because he was a hard-nosed, he was a very good player. He did his job and then some. Week in and week out. Once again, if you don't think getting rid of Troy Hill was a big hole to fill on this defense, what am I talking to you about? Troy Hill was a major hole on this defense that they tried to refill with Shaw Smith-Wade, which he was too young and inexperienced, and then they tried to put Michael Jackson in there. And you saw Michael Jackson struggle the first 3 weeks where he had blown coverages as well. And then you look around, he tried to come back. He'd have a game here where he was consistent, and then he'd have a game where he was inconsistent, and he'd get penalties. So it's like it was hit or miss. A man said CTE Morgan. Shout out to him. He said Hill didn't barely play last year. Hill got cut. The nigga got cut, dog. And Lord have mercy, Omar Tillman, you put that out there. Dane goddamn Jackson. Dane no-show Jackson that everybody hooped and hollered about and told me how good he was going to be. Where was he at? Where is it? In and out of the lineup. In and out of the lineup. 1 week he hurt, 1 week he licking his chops. Next thing you know, we don't know what the fuck you're getting from him. Questionable moves by a questionable GM is what I call this. If you don't think that this is directly the fault of the GM, because think about it. You got the player personnel guy. He got put out last year because he was beating his wife's ass. Adrian Wilson. So him and Dan Morgan supposed to coincide on what's coming on the roster, But you don't got to play a personnel nigga because he beating ass. So guess what? You already behind the 8 ball. He's supposed to go find you the talent. Yeah, CJ here. I remember when motherfucker said Dane Jackson had Pro Bowl potential. Fuckers, you know this the shit. Whenever we sign a motherfucker, these boy put him on Mount Everest that same day. And they don't ever think about what this player truly is. You get what I'm saying? They don't give time for nothing to come out here and fully, develop. They just jump the gun. Oh my God, Josie Jewell is Dan Morgan, Luke Kuechly. That's what they said. These motherfuckers said Josie Jewell was Dan Morgan and Luke Kuechly. The last time I checked, Dan Morgan played for us for 10 plus seasons. I'll say that. He was a potential 100 tackle man year in and year out when he was on the field. One of the best linebackers we've seen in Carolina history until Luke Kuechly got drafted. And Luke Kuechly took the mantle of being there to say, hey, I'm the next man up. I'm the next best prospect at this potential position of linebacker. Rookie of the year, defensively he won. He won defensive player of the year. He was a 8-time Pro Bowler, 7-time All-Pro, first team. Let that sink into you. What the fuck you had? You had a nigga that was the best of the best, and they said Josie Jewell, who ain't made a fucking All-Pro team in his whole goddamn life, was Dan Morgan, Luke Kuechly. Let that sink in. This is what happens when you have Dow. I ain't gonna call it Dow syndrome. I'm gonna call this shit when you drink the Kool-Aid too goddamn much. The Kool-Aid around here is we overhype players that sign to the Panther roster that are basic, that are mid. People understanding what mid is. Mid is basic players. If I tell you a motherfucker basic and you want to argue me down and say no he ain't, but the statistics from the NFL screams that he is basic, why are we going down this road? Why are we going down this road, dog? Motherfuckers will sit here and argue with you the level of talent that you're seeing on this team. And as a fan, we break down these rosters from quarterback to running back to receiver. You can look at the talent and put the talent with the rest of the rosters that you see in the NFL. Because motherfuckers say, no, you can't judge somebody off of what you see in the NFL. Yes, the fuck you can. Because if the Super Bowl champions is the Philadelphia Eagles, I need to know how close away am I, how far away am I. I need to make sure that I'm keeping up with these motherfuckers. Because they the best of the best, and damn it, I want to go up against the best. To be the best, you got to beat the best. Fuck the bullshit. Every time I look, you can't compare our team to nobody else's team. How the fuck do you do a power ranking then? Because in the power ranking, you got to compare all the teams together. Dangs. It's stupid shit. Nobody wants to compare their team to another team. You have to in today's NFL to be able to keep up. I have come to the conclusion that these boys over here, they just don't want to win. They don't want to be competitive. They don't want to win. And they don't deem winning a priority. And that's what we at as an organization here in Pantherland. We don't deem winning a priority anymore. It's just we okay to making it. We just okay. Oh, I want to make the playoffs. We okay just making the playoffs. Oh, I want the division. We okay just making the division. As long as you get ahead of Atlanta, that's how you feel. You feel like that's the best option for you. It's a sad thing to watch in this day and age how far we have dropped. But this is where we are. Our fan base, I think they're okay with losing. Just like how Cam Newton went on and said that when he got here, it was a losing mentality in that locker room. I think our fans have adopted losing as a mentality as a whole. I never been a goddamn loser, and I never like motherfuckers that's been a loser. I never like quitters, and I never like motherfuckers that's quitters. And anything in life. If I work a job with a motherfucker, I'm trying to be the best version of myself. Fuck the nigga next to me. At the end of the day, I'm trying to do my job the best of my ability that God gave me. And if you don't adapt that type of mentality, what the fuck is you doing? If you sweeping the floor, be the best fucking floor sweeping ass nigga you can be. If you clean in the parking lot, clean that motherfucker till it's spotless. I mean, goddamn. What are we doing around here? I can't get down with this losing mentality. Our GM, to me personally, and he gonna have to prove me wrong. He gotta lose his mentality. Our owner don't know what the fuck he doing around here. Another motherfucker with a losing mentality. It trickles down on the fans. Fans around here think that way that this shit is right now is okay, and to me, that's a losing mentality. If you think winning 2 games or 5 games is acceptable, you are a fucking loser. And if a motherfucker saying, well, I'm looking forward to next season, I think we're going to win 12 games next year, you a jackass. You know why? Because you're lying to yourself, knowing that this team is not good. Now be mindful. Hear the difference in the two. For you to come out and say, I want this team to win 12 to 14 games is wishful thinking. And power to them, kudos to them. I hope that happened for you. But realistically, where this team sits after making bonehead decision after bonehead decision and cutting and letting players walk, physically you're inept. You're not able to come out here and be able to acquire 13, 14 wins because of what you have on your roster. Now, it's nice to be delusional. It's nice to want things, but you got to understand, in order to get there, it's going to take hard work, grit, determination. You're going to have to find players that are committed to excellence, not just committed to their fucking paycheck, committed to excellence. That's the difference in getting a motherfucker who come in and work a little bit versus a motherfucker who come in and show up when they want, do what they want, and then they get the fuck home. That's the difference in finding the two. Know what you have in the motherfucker, man. And it's always feeling like I gotta preach to the choir. I'm tired of preaching to people that just don't get it. And yeah, I'm gonna go through this season because this season right here is important to me. I get to full-fledged see what Dan Morgan is made of after having 2 drafts. Will we get better or will we get worse? It's time for us to see it. Because there's no way you're going to botch last year's draft and then turn around, come out here this year and tell me that you're going to fix everything. You had opportunity to fix piece of the shit last year. But you go take a Jaden Crumdy in the 6th round. What? Why is you taking a D tackle in the 6th round and thinking he going to be effective? Why? Do you realize the rounds to get talent is 1 through 3? You might slip up and get good talent in 4th and the 5th round if you do your homework. But the first 3 rounds are almost like a gimme. If you got a position that you need to fill, the talent is there. The talent will always be there in the first 3 rounds. You can't fuck it up unless you're a complete idiot. Like I said, how many mock drafts have you guys watching this show? You do a mock draft every goddamn time, and what you do? Damn, this right here be good enough to fix the Panthers right now. I could do a mock draft right now, and these sons of bitches won't do nothing close to it when we get time to get to the draft. And why is it every other team around here could do a mock draft and they understand the needs of their team, but when it comes to us, we'll put that bitch on the back burner. We'll put it on the back burner. Or we'll try to go out of free agency and try to target dollar store rental niggas that try to cover it. Like that's gonna help. Dollar store shit is gonna be dollar store shit, man. At the end of the damn day. That's what it's always gonna be. End of the day, dollar store brand is always gonna be cheaper than Target. What's up with you, old boy? You there, Omar? You gotta unmute yourself. Go ahead, Omar.
You say you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I just had a refresh. Yeah, Q, like I said, man, you was talking about just Panthers fan in general. It's a bigger psychology of Panthers fans and why they go into every offseason thinking that this is the year that we are going to get better. It's because even going back before Cam Newton, as Panthers fans, we never seen sustained success. We never saw a team built for a 3-year window where we were just, dominant, where we were just better than most of the league. We were always an up and down league. We would go 12-4, 6-10, come back at a 7-9, 2-14. You know what I'm saying? Like we just always been so up and down. So these fans think that every year is our year to go up, and that's not true. Some years you can just keep going down, and that's what we've been doing recently, in my opinion. And so they want to believe everything is going to get better and just a blink of an eye. I got to see it to believe it. It's like I can't give this team any false optimism. They haven't earned any false optimism from me. They haven't shown me anything to where I can be like, you know what? I can believe in this team. I haven't seen it.
So, what's your expectations for Dan Morgan this year?
Dan Morgan, you have to fix this defense. You had the worst defense last year, so you have to fix the defense. Your first 2 picks, they have to hit. If we go into a year from now and we're looking at Dan Morgan in year 3 and we're looking at his first 4 picks being Xavier Leggett, Jonathan Brooks, and 2 more questionable picks, we have to start looking at you as a GM because you can't be messing up the first and second round picks. That's where Marty Herney was only good at was the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
After that, he was trash, but you can't mess up the first and second round picks. And so this is a big year. Our first 2 picks, they have to hit. They can't be question marks. XL is still a question mark. Jonathan Brooks, I don't even think we probably won't even see him, honestly, again in a Panthers uniform, giving us any meaningful snaps. I think that's over with, man. Two back-to-back ACL tears. He may be young, but it's not even worth it. The squeeze not worth the juice. There's too many undrafted, healthy running backs out here to spend a roster spot hoping this guy with 2 ACL tears could be, your future running back or even your running back too. It's just a waste.
Yes, Lord. Boy, you preach it. You preaching the gospel, boy. God damn.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's like I said, it's sad. Like I said, it's sad. Like I said, I just hope we address key positions in the draft, man. Just key positions, and we actually draft guys that fit what we're doing. That's another factor, is when you always changing up the scheme and you drafting for different schemes, then the draft classes don't grow and develop because one year I'm in a 3-4, the next year I'm in a 4-2-5, now we in a 4-3. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many different factors that go into it that I feel like the casual fans don't think about.
Mm-hmm. Well, is a player like T. Higgins going to make a difference on this team?
In theory, he would. I just don't think is it worth where we're at as a team. We're not a T. Higgins away from winning the division or being, I feel like, playoff threat, in my opinion. I think we're
Mm.
more than a T. Higgins away. I'd rather go get another rookie, save that money on T. Higgins, and I'd rather go out there and try to get another cornerback than get another wide receiver.
So, did you catch that exit interview from Dan Morgan? Did you hear what he said?
What'd you say?
I said, did you catch that exit interview from Dan Morgan? Did you hear what he said when he spoke of this season didn't go in the manner of which we thought it would? We thought that we would have been more competitive Uh, the nigga basically saying he thought we were gonna be in shootouts every goddamn week. Now, for your coach to sit here and take away your GM to sit here and take away most of the defensive pieces on his team and say fuck the defense, we're gonna divert everything to offense, and then the offense is underwhelming most of the year. What does that tell you about your GM? How forward looking is him to you? How down the line is he looking?
Yeah, that's tough. Like, cause every GM should be building his team. You know, you build it for the year, but you're building it for a 3-year outlook. You know what I'm saying? So when you do give up so much on defense, and I really, you know what I really think? He thought he was going to be, he thought guys like Ashawn Robinson, Nick Scott, Jordan Fullers, he thought they could be placeholders on the defense so that the defense wouldn't be so bad. But he was wrong. Jordan Fuller was hot ass. Like, he was horrible. Nick Scott, hot ass. He was horrible. Josie Jewell started off slow and kind of got better towards the end. Same with Ashawn Robinson. But those guys like that, they didn't pan out. They were just placeholders that didn't pan out on the defense at all.
Mm-hmm. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Ashawn Robinson wore on me a little bit because at the beginning of the season he struggled. And then you saw him take a role where he got better and better as the year went in trying to stop the run. He was kind of like the only guy that was out there on that line that could potentially, handle his own. It was
Yeah,
nothing else out there.
he better than Shy Tuttle. I'll say that. Shy Tuttle
You
was like
damn right.
bum.
And Shy Tuttle be walking in the free agency, and guess what? Good riddance, Shy Tuttle. You can take your ass on, and I love to see you get the hell on, Shy Tuttle. Yes, sir. Young Pharaoh,
What's going on, people?
man, talk to me, cuz. What's going on with you?
I've been missing out on everything. I didn't even know what Dan Morgan said. Could you enlighten me?
Oh, well, in a nutshell, in his exit interview, this is the point I just really want to highlight that he went to the podium and said that basically he realized that he didn't do any favors to Jero Evero this season by taking away so many players from him. Having so much going on, like how you let Burns walk, you bring in Warner, but Warner injured half of the season. You know what I'm saying? When you see stuff moves like watching Frankie Louisville leave but go and make an all pro on another team, but you bring in a guy like a Josie Jewell, and then you watch a Shaq Thompson go down, you underwhelming at these spots that you thought that you got better at as a GM, but in all actuality, you didn't. So you hurt your
That's what he
team
said,
more
Q.
than anything.
That's
That's
what he
me
said
par.
verbatim.
That's me paraphrasing.
Yeah, yeah. He said he
But
got to do a
yes,
better job helping
Basically, he admitted
Evero
he
out.
fucked up.
Yep.
That's what
he
he's saying.
admitted
I
he
fucked
fucked
up.
up. Thank you. He admitted he fucked up. Farrell. Now, how do you feel hearing your GM say that?
I mean, Q. What did I say when he came GM? I didn't trust him. You know what I'm saying? We're
Uh huh.
supposed to have offense this year. We're supposed to be in shootouts. We knew our defense. We didn't know it was going to be that bad, but we had like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, didn't they
Intuition.
break records of how bad they was this year? I didn't think they were going to break records, but we knew that those pieces when you was naming them. I'm a hardcore football guy. I didn't even know who some of those players were. You know what I'm saying? I had to go Google
No,
them.
Farrell, because they told me Josie Drew was Dan Morgan Luke Kuechly. He was a Hall of Fame type of player. That's what they told me.
I heard that, Q, but you talking to two guys up here that I mean, well, three guys right here. We know football. We ain't saying nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Some people will
Man,
have you thinking Josie Joe was Fred Warner.
Lord have
I
mercy.
see one thing I did hear Q, not Q say, I did hear a guy did say that when Q was live. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? But I mean, like you said, Q. So soon as they put the uniform on, people just feel like they got to ride or die for him. It's okay to say, "Hey, bro, this player ain't good. He ain't up to par." What's wrong with saying stuff like that?
because they say you going against the team. What this little dumbass logic that they got around here, of all the teams that you could like around here, you pick one of the ones that only won 2 to 5 games, and you sitting here talk about, well, you ain't a real fan. You got to be a real fan to put up with these inept.
Q, I'm just rooting for the home team. I told you I'm a Rams fan now. I'm just rooting for the home team, moral support. They they gotta earn my trust back. Because like you said, a lot of people sit there and say y'all not real fans, people up here, but when it comes down to the win loss predictions, who's always the closest to it?
Oh, you right there, cuz. You always right there. Look, because
Yeah.
you got to be able to look at this thing from an unbiased eye. And I appreciate the two of you guys for always taking your feelings out of it and always looking at this thing and saying, this ain't, especially Omar. Omar will let you know in a second. Nah, I don't believe in this right here. I don't see this right here. So I appreciate you two guys for always speaking your mind and being open about it.
Yeah, man, always. Like I said, I know I get on you and Goat about the Brian Burns thing. Like I said, I just looked at that from a business move of where we were at as a team. We just couldn't keep Brian Burns. You know, blame the G. Like I said, if anything, Brian Burns should have been shipped off in that Rams trade, the Steve Wilkes year, or he should have been included in the pick to go get the #1 pick. We should have never. We messed around with his money, just keeping him around, acting like we were going to extend him when we knew we weren't. So it's like we did him wrong. I will say that. And that's why I was just like, it's best for him to just go ahead and leave. He got his bread, and wish him the best.
You do know, Omar, we should have never been in that situation though. You do know that, right?
That's what happened when you have incompetent GM work, man. And that's why
That's the
I can
whole
never trust
Carolina
Dan.
way, bro.
That's
That's
why I
the
can't
Carolina
trust
way.
Dan Moore. How can you trust somebody that was in the room making these decisions with Scott? So I can't trust you.
Well, they say Scott was the only nigga that fucked up the franchise around here.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
they
they
were
say.
saying, wasn't they, Q? They said
Yeah,
give Darren Morgan a chance. It wasn't his fault. He wasn't actually making the picks. They were saying all
yeah,
that, making every excuse for Darren Morgan.
yeah, 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 yeah. And this the same crew that believed that T. Higgins is gonna come in here and save the world. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Q,
All
let me
I'm
ask you
saying. Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead.
about that T. Higgins. Is
Go
he
ahead.
not playing for with one of the best wide receivers? You can have him #1 or Justin Jefferson. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Which one? You know what I'm saying when
Mm-hmm.
it comes down to it. If you playing with
Mm-hmm.
that type of guy, what makes you think T. Higgins is gonna be a #1? You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver here. Why aren't people say, hey, even though he gets numbers, he always hurt. And second, he playing with Justin Jefferson. Justin. I mean not Justin Jefferson. You know that wherever that wide receiver
Jamar
name is.
Chase. Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Jamar Chase, my fault.
Nah, it's all
If
good.
Jamar
Look at here.
Chase is a triple crown winner, doesn't he make their
Mm-hmm.
job easier on one on
Uh,
ones?
it shows be good because his numbers was over 1,600 yards, and guess what? That same T. Higgins that they calling for had 800 yards on the season. Now, how the hell is he a #1? But he can't even get #1 numbers on that damn team with Jamar Chase around. That tells you he is not a #1. He's a #2 disguised as a #1 because the
Hey, they
other
gonna make
guy
that same
opens up
excuse.
so much.
Shoot, they gonna make that same excuse when we brought that other wide receiver here. You know the one
Lord
that
have
can run
mercy.
good routes.
The
Everybody,
Deontay
I mean, I
Johnson.
got now, yeah, I got people arguing saying, bro, he would have had over 1,000 yards. I'm like, bro, he didn't. He got hurt. What's the? That's the same situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think he's better than what I'm saying. What you call it? But he's always gonna be glorified #2, a high end #2. You know what I'm saying? But when you say
Well,
stuff like that, people always say you hate.
the thing is you can go get a glorified #1, #2. It don't matter the fucking number. At the end of the day, when you playing with this young fella right here, you got to get receivers that do specific things, and that's you got to get speedy guys for a young guy that comes out. Like I said, for young Bryce Young, you need to get
Yeah,
dudes that can
I
open
understand
and
Q.
create. Mm-hmm. You can't just
I
go get
watched how
that
Bryce
big
play.
body. Mm-hmm.
I watched him play. I know what he needs. But the thing of this, I'm not gonna put my opinion out there on there. Not saying they listen to us. I don't want to be him and having good numbers. And I know it's fool's gold. You get what I'm saying when it comes down to it.
But be good.
We
It
don't.
shouldn't be no
Yeah.
fucking reason for you as a regular nigga who's sitting in this motherfucking seat at home to know what a fucking man need, and you got a GM who paid millions of dollars and don't know.
Yeah.
The shit don't make sense to me.
I mean, Q, it's just sometimes I just feel like I guess I always been around sports. I know what I see. Like if I can tell when some people got potential. Somebody, if you put him in the system, yeah, he could really be that guy. It's just, but Bryce, like you said, he needs speedy, quick guys. But the
Yeah,
problem of that is when you got to play them big dog teams. Let's just say like a Philly right now. Them speed guys can only do so much. You get what I'm saying, Q?
we gonna be
Especially
a
to get
gimmick.
jammed at the line.
We could be a gimmicky offense like the Miami Dolphins, cause the
That's
speedy
why I was
guys,
saying fools
once you
go.
get up in them, that's your ass. Press them at the
Yeah,
line of
Q,
scrimmage and you get them off.
Q, that's why I said it's fools go. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather not have that when people say, "See, you hate on Bryce Young." Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying two of them are the same because I think Tua is better, but Tua, when he was gifted that, those two basically number one guys, wide receivers, he they made life so easy for him. But now 16 finally adjusted to it. I mean, he got. I mean, Tua was playing. I guess you can say above average in my humble opinion before he got hurt, but you knew they weren't gonna win no Super Bowl or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, be good. I believe, and I know it's unpopular, and everything that we have been doing this season has been totally unpopular from a fan's perspective. If you're a Carolina Panther fan, but and it's me just simply talking about wanting better for the team, demanding excellence, getting better players in here, and making sure that hey, I have the best on the field whenever that time clock is on and the 12-minute mark is up. I demand better from my goddamn team than what I've been getting the last couple of years. And that
You,
seems to
me, and
cause
you
a
both got
problem
that
around
mindset.
here.
We
Hmm.
both got that mindset. I expect every time you put that jersey on, you expect to win. Not if we kind of keep it close, we got a chance. No, I expect to win. I always had that expectation, no matter what I do in life. When you had that attitude, well, we'll just see how it goes. I don't want you on the team because I feel like you need everything good for you to be successful. What happens when stuff ain't going your way? What you gonna do then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. Man, be good. I have spent this whole year contemplating what it would look like if I was to cheer for a different team. My heart aches because I love this team so goddamn much, and I've been with the team for 30 years. And the more I sit here, since it's been brought in '95, I have been a part of this team. And that's the thing why I say I have sat here and literally contemplated, okay, are they trying to win here? Do they give a damn about the consumers of the product? What could I do as a fan? The more and more I sit here and watch this losing, it upsets me to know that we aren't trying to do better.
Q, that right there, that answer. That's why I had to. I know I'll be saying I'm jumping off ship. I mean, at heart, I'm still rooting for the Panthers. But Q, when I said, when I put that thing out about that whole 15 years, I want to be wrong. I want something
Mm,
to change when it comes
mm-hmm.
down to it. But it's looking like when it comes to that quarterback, they're gonna keep him. You know what I'm saying? For some obvious reason. It could be a BS reason. You know what I'm saying, Q? When it comes down to it. I mean, towards Bryce. If they sign him, it's like, man, I know for sure I'm out.
But be good. It's one thing if Bryce was giving us consistent numbers every time he suit up on the field, and you know you're gonna get a consistent 250, 225 out of his ass with 2 touchdowns at least. You wouldn't hear me say shit. You wouldn't hear me say a goddamn thing because I know at that day, at that point in time, I got a motherfucker that I could say, okay, he is the guy.
Yeah, I understand you. All I'm saying is like, if he was to give me 33, like let's just say this year, 3,300 yards, but I still have faith in him. No, but I like, bro, he did get better. on the, you know what I'm saying, on the offense end. So I give him another year.
Yeah.
It may be a little hope in, light in that term. But
But that's the
when I
thing. He's not giving me, you, the fan base that consistently week in and week out. And all I gotta keep hearing is, well, last 5 games. If you go look at the last 5 games, 3 of them he was over 200 yards. The rest of them he wasn't.
I know Q. I mean, I know when they love talking about that how he's getting better. I like, bro. The last game he played great. That was a great game. But when he played, what was it, Tampa Bay the week before? Before he played Atlanta, what did he do?
Mm-hmm. Subpar.
And I know, yeah. He'd give you a decent game. Did it go subpar? Even that win when it came down to Arizona. I think that was more of a team win, to be honest with you. He did his part, but I just know that's not a winning formula. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying, success if you want to have sustained success. You know what I'm saying, to win. Then, like I
Mm-hmm.
say, when you pay him, if he can't win with the stuff he has now, how's he gonna win once he get his contract and we can't fill those spots anymore? Those what people really need to ask. Because I think uh, maybe a year, two from now, Bryce about to tap out when it comes to his potential. Because we can honestly say he never had the greatest, upside when it came to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you let him tell a story, and I see motherfuckers running with that John Gruden shit around here. You let him tell a story. The biggest thing what I have taken away from Bryce Young is he's not going to be physically imposing on the game of football at all. He's not going to be. Be mindful. His claim to fame is going to be him outsmarting a lot of motherfuckers, and he struggled at doing that. And so now you're telling me. I watched that John Gruden interview, and he telling me he struggles with making throws to the left side of the field. He literally said he don't want to make that throw to the left side of the field. To each his own. I don't like doing it. Little
So
shit
he
like
admitted to
that.
people. So he
Yes,
admitted, he told people on live his weakness.
he told them, which is one of the dumbest shit you can do, because he got talking and he wasn't really thinking. And number one, so you that tells me right there, if I just pressure him to make that throw over there a little bit, just pressure him a little bit, he gonna bend. He gonna fold like a damn lawn chair. Now, you just told the entire world. If I'm Dave Canales, I walk into the locker room today, tomorrow. I'm calling this nigga in the off season. Look at here, bitch. You making nothing but left hand throws, and you gonna work on that fucking footwork every goddamn day until you get up in here for camp. You get what I'm saying? I would force that motherfucker to make that throw every time, and he
I
gonna make it till
realized
he get
this.
it right.
A lot of them, I can't talk because I'm still part of the younger generation. I use
Mm,
one of my sisters. Right now, she's starting, she's a freshman, but she's been on the funk. You know what I'm saying? Haven't been playing like I want her to. And she don't like dribbling with her left hand. So I like, why y'all bring the ball up with your right? I'm just used to it. So I made her like work out with me for like an hour and a half. They dribbling with her left. She's like, when I'm gonna put the ball in my right hand. I said, when you taking the ball back in the house, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it.
yeah,
She got mad, hated talking about he ain't doing that, but this making me use my left. You will probably understand, yeah, because teams now they're making you dribble the ball with your left hand, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
want your
You got to
left
be
hand to
well
do just as
rounded.
good as your right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be able to do everything, not just be good at this certain things. You get what I'm saying, Q?
Well, and this is why I say things the way I do, because to me, to hear a young fella talk about how he don't really care for that throw, he put it out there. That's what he struggled with the most. And then it's the thing is I don't see a competitive spirit in him. Him saying, "No, I'm a work that throw until I get it right." Damn it, the team. First of all, that explains why no fucking receiver on that left side of the field ever gets any numbers. Can I say that again for you? Be good.
Q. Q, it
That,
opened up a
that
whole lot of things when he said that. I like in my mind it clicked. That makes sense.
thank you. That explain why you got Deontay Johnson, who been wide open like a motherfucker last year, running and cussing and shit all through the damn field because he expecting the ball but can't get the ball because this motherfucker can't set his feet to throw the ball to him. Or he throwing off of his tippy toes. Whichever one he most comfortable with. This shit relates on the football field, and niggas will tell you that no, it don't. Well, he'll
Q,
be
and that's
alright.
where you be ready to choke somebody when they trying to say it don't. Because that's the
You
same
damn
thing
right.
Tua was dealing with. The coach, and now it's hurting him. I'm talking, what's that their head coach name? Because they
You
used to
talking about
say he was a
Canales?
genius. No, I'm talking about from Miami. What's
Man,
that coach name?
little young boy.
Yeah, they
Oh
used to call
goddamn.
him a genius for 2 years. Then everything caught up with him.
Eh, Well,
Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. You. Anyways,
what
you know what
he's
I
running.
because I listened to. Yeah,
He's running a timing offense over there. People couldn't figure
yeah,
that out. With Tua
yeah. But
Tagovailoa being as inaccurate as he was, he had to put people at certain spots. Just like how we talk about all the time, a spot thrower. You get what
yeah,
I'm
Q. I
saying?
don't want a few people brought that up, but long story
Mm-hmm.
short, I was listening to a podcast when they was talking about it. You know what he did? Because my man that coaches at the Vikings, he was hard on. Tua said
Oh
he actually
yeah.
lost confidence. You know what I mean? When it came down
Oh.
to it. So
Mm-hmm.
the new coach, and with the owner's back, and he said, "You see all these plays right here, Tua? You know what I'm saying?" He showed them. These are the plays we're gonna have you do. We're gonna throw all those bad plays out that you're not good at. At the end of the
McDaniels.
day, it worked in the beginning, but the problem of it is he never got better at the bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Then when teams start keying in, oh, he don't like, he don't like this situation. He don't like this situation. They start taking away all them stuff he like doing well. It hinder his
Mm-hmm.
growth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
That's a
when you
fact.
bring stuff like that up, people want to, you know what I'm saying? Now they're getting on the coordinator like, you ain't calling the right plays. I'm like, no, you calling the same plays. Is this defense know how to play it now? That's the problem. You can't just keep babying somebody because they say he good at something. I like, no, you gotta have him. For me, I want to be great at everything, Q. That's one of my main
Mm.
things. I'm a perfectionist. If I'm doing something, I want to be perfect at. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, I guess, they just what's the saying? They're okay with being good enough at it. I can't stand that word. Just good enough. You know what I'm saying? That stuff kills me when I hear stuff like that.
If a
Long
nigga
story
just
short,
say
yeah.
they want to be
Go
just
ahead,
good
man.
enough, be good, I promise you, I probably punch him in the fucking face if he ever say that shit around me. You want to just be good enough, huh? Well, but just get the fuck out of my face with that right there. It angers me to hear that. Now, I
You
don't
that right
condone.
there. That
Mm-hmm.
see my family, we crazy like that. I mean, I realize you got that attitude like me.
Yeah, yeah,
One
yeah.
time, one of my let's just say one of my friends said that family member. Well, my dad and them were about ready to choke them. You know what I'm saying? After the game, you say what? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, people say that's crazy, but I like, bro, no, they expect better out of you. You get what I'm saying? They don't want you to just be average. They want you to take part. That's the difference.
Well, be
But yeah,
good.
I get what you're saying, Keith.
We in the era of these new millennials, these new young kids that I'm gonna be honest with you, they just fucking lazy. And I think, and this is just my honest opinion, we got a player that isn't committed to football. Football is not his number one love or passion. You get what I'm saying? Because when certain people talk about football, you can see it in their face. You can see the passion, the love for it. The I can't live without this shit right here. Going out on that field is one of the things. Because think about it, you're making millions. You should love this shit, man. But you hear motherfuckers say, well, yeah, thank by the grace of God, this is good and everything is great. And this little calm little manner, I just say, well, hey, it is what it is. That boy, it don't seem like nothing really. Oh, shut the fuck up, just alone. Hey, that nigga say, ain't you a millennial? I'm different. My people work hard to get the where we got to. Let me tell you something. But my family used to look at me and tell me, boy, look at here. I don't give a darn what it is you do. Boy, you give 100% effort because every time you step out that house, you wearing our name on your back. And you want to be the best representation of this family when you step outside. The best. Because when your name is mentioned, when they mention a Q, they want to say, well, damn, that Q was a hard-working guy. That Q was a... Well, think about it. I apply this from regular work to the podcast world to everything. Every time y'all look, y'all say, damn, these niggas going live again. The work ethic is always going to be there because I was brought up in the way of, boy, if you're going to do something, don't you half-ass it. Don't half-ass it.
Q, they don't know what that means right there, what you just said.
Yeah,
No, they heard of it, but they don't know what it means. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference.
yeah, yeah. Be good. It's so easy to talk about the Carolina Panthers because I love the Carolina Panthers. It's the only team that I've known since I've been a little kid. And growing up here in Charleston, that's all we would see on the TVs. That's all we would see. When we go to the stadium, it meant the world to me to walk around Bank of America Stadium. You know what I'm saying? I'd be a little kid in awe of the stadium because that's what I love. The baby blue, the black, the symbols, the Jake DeLones, the Rodney Peets, just watching the greats, it meant something to me. You get what I'm saying? So being in a place where I feel like passion is everything, watching these boys want to win, and then I come out here and I look at the state of the team now where it just seems like they just don't give a damn, it bothers me. As a fan, it should bother you too.
Q,
Nobody should
why you think,
believe in a product like that.
Q, when y'all start doing your podcast and stuff like that, why you think I
Mm,
gravitated to y'all? Because I thought y'all was telling the honest truth when it comes down to certain things. Not no sugarcoating. How you need
mm,
to get better. Not just throwing, imaginary things. Oh, we can do this. No, explaining in detail how we can, make this thing better. You know what I
mm,
mean? Some people this, like I said, I hate when people say you gotta have faith in something like this. I like, bro, there ain't no hope in this right now. You know what I'm saying? Then when they say that, they're like, bro, you just, you know what I mean? A down person. I'm like, bro, I'm just being real with myself. But I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. Be
I
good.
mean, it's just me.
You can have faith in something, but this is the thing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that's not seen. Everybody know that. Um, the thing is, my hope in this team would come to me if I saw effort, if I saw a manifestation of players, if I saw a roster being devised and put together and seemed like it was trending in the right direction, if I saw coaching seeming to be, taking it to the next level, if I saw the ownership feeling like they wanted to win and committed to excellence, you would hear my hope screaming through these buildings. You know what I'm saying? You get what
You, I
I be
understand. I
screaming it.
understand what you're talking about. I understand. And I hate when I gotta bring Cam Newton up. Well, that year we went like two and something, then he came and won like 6 games. I was locked
Mm-hmm.
in, like really locked in. Not because we knew we had something, just we know we had a shot. We didn't even win that year. Next, y'all like, you know what? We're gonna have a shot to get it together. You get what I'm saying, Keith? That's how I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Pretty quick, what's going on?
I also want to add to that: faith without works is dead.
There you go. There you go. Yes, sir. Boy,
You
you better
understand me?
preach.
You understand me? So if you ain't putting that work in, you got all the faith. Better focus on your luck.
Yes, sir.
Get your luck up, cause your faith ain't gonna do it alone. But
Boy, that's a true statement, dog.
y'all hitting on all points, man. You've been right at it, Q, man. You've been killing it on your open soliloquies, touching in on this whole organization and scouting and these players that they brought in and these special team players, well, actually these rotational players that they're trying to make starters, if you will. You know what I'm saying, in the system. And I think they're trying to go off this well. If we got these good coaches, we can coach anybody we bring in to be number ones. No, you can't. No, that's not how that works. I'm sorry.
That's
You
a
bring in
fact.
this special. You bringing in these special team rotational play. Let's be real. Michael Jackson is not a starting QB, a cornerback, bro. He's not. He is a rotational piece. That means you rotate him out, get somebody a breather, come fill in, come off the
Mm-hmm.
bench. He's a sixth man. Damn. So when people realize this and understand, y'all get it. The defense didn't work because we was dealing with special team players. Let's be real. But I mean, really, can we blame them? Because really and truly, like when you pick up DJ Moore and you got all those other players to pick up Bryce, you had to give up a few pieces off your defense to add to your offense. But like you said, you could have made those particular picks last year and recovered, and you didn't. You
Hey,
kept
Q,
focused
can I
on
ask you a
saying,
question?
"Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead."
Kitty. I mean, you actually
What's up?
dropped my memory. You said Dan Morgan said he was suspecting to be in shootouts this year, but this
That's
past year.
that's what the nigga said. They didn't. He said, and I quote him verbatim. I didn't anticipate the season going like this. We thought that everything was going to be more competitive, game in and game out. They were going to take it a game to game mentality. So, in other words, like he thought that we were going to be offensively in shootouts, and that wasn't the case. That's the expectation when they took away from the defense to commit the offense. I I didn't make this shit up. Your boy Dan Morgan said it.
I got you.
I believe
Sorry,
it,
Kitty.
bro.
I didn't want to. I just remember when you was talking about the expectations. I like that's why I was wanted to ask you, Q.
Oh
My
no,
fault,
he
Kitty.
definitely said that shit for sure.
Stupid shit,
For
man.
def-
I ain't never heard nothing like that in my life.
and for Bryce to say that bullshit about throwing to the left, bro, we can obviously see that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no
If
secret, but I mean, really and truly, like you saying it now, teams know how to play it. They know how to, you know what I'm saying, coach around you now. They know how to combat you.
but Petey, if you was on Bryce PR team and you heard that nigga say that shit right there after the interview, what the fuck would you probably do to Bryce?
Might well go ahead and wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Yeah,
I need to go find me another job.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Q,
I'm
I
telling
would
you,
have jumped in there screaming, "What the hell for you?" You know what I'm saying? Made sure the cameras would have came off.
you just shot yourself in the foot, buddy.
But
Yeah.
Like,
instead, be good. You know what they did? They took clips of the first half of the interview and talk about how smart and knowledgeable Bryce is, and they putting clips of that shit out there instead of talking about the real stupid shit he said. Nobody holds this boy accountable for nothing.
Oh,
nothing,
he's a
bro.
media darling. He is the
Yes,
media darling.
So
I don't get it. Go ahead, Petey.
I don't get it. Where and I'm glad you said this earlier about mediocrity and expectations, bro. Like we have reached to this point in time where we're happier just about improvement. Improvement. Like we ain't talking about like a winning culture. We talking about improvement. We're satisfied with
Damn, Kitty.
improvement. Do y'all hear this shit?
That
Yeah,
pissed me off just saying that, bro.
yeah.
Damn.
We
Improvement.
just happy to get from 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 games. We doing multiples over this motherfucker. We happy doing that shit instead of worrying about creating a culture where you can win a fucking Lombardi trophy in this some bitch, man.
Q. Q.
Yes,
We
sir.
sit
Yes,
here.
sir.
We engaged talking about some. He connected. He connected. Not did he score, but he connected. Y'all hear this shit? I'm
and,
like, what?
and that's the thing. When you worry more about can he make a pass or some type of shit, god damn, that's how far we sunk.
Bro,
We, mm,
that's the point. That's the fucking point, bro.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And thank you, Carolina fans, because you bisexuals I'm gonna continue to say that. I'm gonna keep that alive because y'all bisexuals is just looking for any type of spark, any little lit of fire that y'all could possibly get from this dude. Y'all gonna run with it. Y'all happy with it. Listen here, man. He got this. They got this year. We ain't got no choice but to give him an opportunity this year. But if he fuck up, y'all better be screaming for somebody else. I'm telling you, because I'm be looking at y'all weird.
Well, and the problem is, Petey, he probably gonna fuck up this year. And the thing is we probably gonna sign him to a long term deal and keep him here in spite of him fucking up. And that's gonna be the
You don't
drawstring for me. That's it for me.
you
Hmm?
you can't have that expectation too. I just think they're gonna find an excuse just to sign him.
Yeah.
I really do.
They have latched on this boy like a leech. Like when I tell you this boy is sucking the blood out of this organization, you done got rid of everybody you can get rid of out of from under the sun. There ain't nobody left to get rid of at this point. You done got rid of the whole goddamn defense. You done got rid of a coaching staff. You done turned around also done got rid of uh, uh executives in the front office and shit. Nobody else you could get rid of, dog. There ain't nobody else.
Kill you. You
That's
know,
yeah, yeah.
I don't. I think I don't. I'm hoping they don't sign for a long term deal. I'm hoping. Like I pray to God they don't hope they don't sign this man for a long term deal because really and truly you just really shot yourself in the foot by that statement alone
Yeah.
about how you can't throw to the ball. You don't like throwing to the ball, throwing it to the left. So with that being said, let's see this season when these teams have got wind of that and start having their defense, you know what I'm saying, predicate towards that side. You know what I'm saying, the side that you're uncomfortable with. Because, like he was saying earlier about his sister, dribbling the ball with her right hand or something like that. You know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and being comfortable with that hand so much that every time she get ready to dribble, she's gonna go where she's comfortable at, not where she's not unfamiliar with. She ain't really confident with the left, so she gonna always go back to the right. The same thing with him. He gonna always be confident going to the right instead of throwing the left, even though that left side is open.
Yeah.
He's not gonna want to do it. So with that being said, if teams take wind of that, he ain't gonna be here. They bet not sign him for no extra years, extend his years. They better not. That's
I
that's
think
that's
we in the Daniel
that's
Jones
insanity.
situation, brother. If he gives you 3,200 yards, 33, and let's just say 6 games, let's just say we win 6 this year. That's fine. I think that'd be good enough to sign.
Can I tell y'all a secret?
Cause the
What's up?
Can I tell y'all a secret? I bet it's
Hmm?
somebody at work. I bet it's someone that we will lose our first 2 games. Right, because of Bryce. Bryce will lose two games on the first game of the first 2 games of the season next year. We'll start this year coming.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me tell you something, Petey. If you fuck around and you get the wrong motherfucker that first 2 games of the season, that's gonna kill the expectations real quick, just like this last year. Cause if
Sir.
they gave us the home and the away opponents, and if you fuck around and I don't think for 1 second that Carolina Panthers can beat the Cowboys and all them other boys we got this year on this schedule. I don't see us beating the Rams. I don't see us beating any of them type of dude. If you fuck around getting any of them bitch first, that's your ass. The season will be over before we get started.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, I bet him a hard hundo, Q.
Oh Lord.
A hard hundo. Because he said 50. I said, no. Make sure let you know how serious I am. 100. That's how confident I know for a fact we're gonna lose the first 2 games because of him. Because he's one of them type of players where he got to warm up, and it takes
Mm-mm-mm.
to about the quarter of the season he wants to he want to warm up. No, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not putting up with no mediocrity, bro. I'm not doing that.
Well, I gave this little bitch 2 years of my life, and that's more than enough. So this right here is a cutoff season for me with Bryce. If we come out here and I think about it, it's a harder schedule. Like I said, we playing guys that was just in the playoffs, dog. It ain't no fucking way you gonna beat most of them boys. So I don't give a damn. Think about it. You could draft all you want on defense this year. It gonna take 2 years for them boys to get acclimated in the system. And you got 1 year left with your defensive coordinator. So you tell me how this shit gonna look. Tell me how this
Q,
shit. They're
I've
gonna
been
be
saying that.
they're
I've
gonna
been
be
saying
new
that. I'm like,
players in a different
I don't
goddamn scheme
understand.
next year. Mm-hmm.
Q, I've been saying that. I say even if we draft, let's say we draft a whale, it's gonna take them a little bit. I told them it's gonna take 2 or 3 years. People looking at me, well, they still gonna be better than last year. I like they may be better. Don't mean that they're not gonna be still bad. You get what I'm saying, Q? If
Yeah,
you
true,
31st
Think
and go to
about it.
like
Think
29,
about it.
I mean, is it
You
better? But
think about it.
but
You gonna have if you was able to get a Mason Graham, you're gonna have him off of his talent alone, because the scheme and everything that you asking him to do is not gonna come to him until year 2, year 3, and him understanding the gap control and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
right?
So he'll just be playing off of his physical capabilities of being better than the man in front of him.
Right.
So that'll work out. But so long, you got a man that's out there lost on the field. You get what I'm saying? Just like how we thought Derek Brown, not we. This how these niggas thought. They thought Derek Brown was a bust, and I told them boys then. I said it take 3 years for a fucking D tackle to manifest in a system, and you gotta have a guy beside him for him to end up getting off. Because as long as he double team, triple team, he won't get off.
Right.
But people didn't listen then.
I mean, Q, I think they were just looking at, well, he don't have sacks. I was like, bro, he's a run stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what he do. He pushed the interior tackle for losses. Quarterback hurries is what you look at for that type of D tackle, not sacks. Motherfucker still talking about Derek Brown don't get sacks. That's not his style. He's a run stopper.
Exactly.
I mean, Q,
But
I,
they
I, I
they
say
gotta learn.
I'm above average, but a lot of these guys they really don't know. They really don't. You know what I mean?
But see, nose guards though. If you take a look at a D tackle, aka nose guards, all right. Your whole job is to pretty much to flush, is to collapse the middle. So I can only go off our scheme what we used to use. The middle linebackers is gonna eat. So your job is to pretty much collapse this middle right here, whoever your man is, collapse that pocket, that gap. That way your guys can flow in. That's pretty much your job. Now, if you some defensive coaches probably be like, well, hey, they might allow the line to eat, but they really want the linebackers to go out there and eat. But I see if you see food, eat food. That's pretty much the defense I was on. You see food, eat food. But I mean, hey, linebackers need to eat first.
Yeah,
Open the gap so
yeah.
they can float in.
Well,
Am I wrong?
guess what, Petey? Guess what? There's a couple motherfuckers who was up here and said they don't give a fuck about a linebacker. Don't even worry about looking at a linebacker this year. Am I lying on that, Big Good?
I wasn't on here, but I was listening to it. Yeah, they were saying that, Q.
They said they don't give a fuck about a linebacker. Now be mindful, a middle linebacker, is that not the quarterback of your defense?
It sure is.
Q,
Nah,
you
nah,
might as
nah,
well be
nah.
speaking in trigonometry to them. They don't understand. You know what I mean?
Nah, be good. Then we not used to see Luke Kuechly push motherfuckers around, literally grab a motherfucker and push him to his spot. Hey, you get the fuck over there. No, you get over there. Lining niggas up on the defense because he know the play that was coming.
Q,
And
they
I'm
don't
glad you said.
understand. They
I'm
don't
glad you said.
understand what you're talking about. Just right there.
Lord have mercy.
When they said we don't need a middle linebacker, when I heard that, because I heard old buddy, I was like, bro, ain't no point in me joining this. You know what I mean? I ain't having that conversation.
You a certified idiot if you believe that you don't need no middle linebacker, bro. First and foremost, as a linebacker, bro, you gotta have that intelligence, bro. You just can't have anybody out there as a middle linebacker. You got to be the one to be able to watch film. You know what I'm saying? Recognize certain plays and learning how to adjust. You control that defense, and your
hmm
secondary is your either your safety back there. That's your second in command. Is your safety. But you as the linebacker, you got to have somebody intelligent out there, bro. You need a linebacker, bro, and we definitely been needed linebackers. Josie Jewell, I like Josie Jewell as a rotational player, but not as a starter.
Boy,
No.
you speaking the gospel.
Yeah.
And then Shaq
I
Thompson,
mean,
I'm done with Buddy. I respect them. Trust me, I love Shaq. I love Shaq. I love what he contributed to the team. But it's time to turn the other page, bro. It's time to go. It's time to go elsewhere, bro. It's been time. It's been about that time, bro. Over with. You can't stay healthy, man. You ain't. I hate to say you ain't got it, but really and truly, you know what it is.
Yeah,
You know what it
yeah.
is.
He more of a on the field coach than he is a on the field player. So it ain't
Exactly.
doing me no damn good when you in the latest Panther gear over here. Now, if
Exactly.
there's an air nigga that they need to give up on, it's a fucking 30. How old is Shaq? 34, 35-year-old linebacker?
Yeah,
Probably not
Shaq
30.
old. He got
Oh,
drafted in
about
what,
30.
like 2015 or something, or 12? He got drafted
He
before
probably
then,
about
didn't
he about 34, 34, 35.
34, 35. He been injured the last 2 seasons in a row. And on top of that, when he was healthy, he wasn't giving you jump off the screen numbers. He was an average linebacker.
It's over with, bro.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it's
Never
if he
made.
could have stayed.
And then on top of that, you're paying the nigga $24 million at one point in time, and he never made a Pro Bowl.
But Q, I thought he made like some type of arrangement or something like that, or like he negotiated or
Yeah,
some shit, or took a
he
pay
he?
cut or
He
pushed.
something like
always
that.
made that to stay. He always
He
made that to stay.
restructured. He restructured twice, and he went down in money. But make no mistake, you still was paying that nigga $16 million. He just went from 24 to 16. God damn, that's still a lot of money for a nigga that ain't
Hey,
productive.
hey, Q, you remember who was doing that as well too back in when it was time for the career to be over? Charles
Talking about,
Johnson,
oh yeah,
CJ.
well,
I don't get me wrong. I love Charles though. I love Charles Johnson. I
mm-hmm.
loved him, but I mean he knew where he want. He knew where he wanted to stay. I didn't mind keeping him though, as long
Well,
as you restructure.
Marty Herney signed him to that huge 3 year, $75 million deal where he was getting 20 plus a year. And I'm sitting here
Mm-hmm.
looking like that was a big mistake to sign him because he was on his last legs then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I don't knock him for what he was doing. I just don't think that he was entitled. But Marty Herney was overly loyal to Panther players, which nowadays I'll take that because if Marty Herney was here, you'd have half of the team. Frankie Luvu and all them boys would have still been here.
I got a question for you, Q. And so who else is on? Be
Be
good.
good.
Q and Be good. I got a question for both of y'all, man. Do y'all
Uh huh.
think we can go back and go get that outside linebacker from the Jets who we had before?
Talking about Hassan Reddick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can. It's not gonna cost you much, but the problem is he wanting to come here? Is he willing
I
to
missed the
come
question.
to Carolina?
Remember when before he left, he said that he wouldn't mind staying. It's just hey, he want to get paid. You know what I'm saying? They gotta
That was
pay
his
him. Like,
problem. That was his problem with the Jets. He wanted his fucking money. He wanted his money with Philly. Nobody wanted to pay him
but
his money.
but see, did he not? I thought he did get paid with the Jets though. He just like didn't want to stay there maybe because like the defense maybe was trash or they had maybe differences or so. I'm not sure, but
Well, he got greedy, and this is me being honest with you. For a player his caliber, undersized linebacker that's an edge rusher, they paid him, but they didn't pay him what he wanted to make. So then he decides, okay, I'll sit out of football until y'all restructure me or just trade me, get me up off the team. And that was a bad move on his behalf because, bro, you getting paid market money for an edge rusher, dog, and you an undersized guy at that in a 3-4. He's a
right,
3-4 type of guy, so he's not gonna get the $30 million that Nick Bosa and them boys getting. He not getting that type of money. They give
right.
you 15, 20, but they not gonna give you no goddamn 35, 30. So
Mm.
that's on him. He made a bonehead decision. He right now sitting down like Le'Veon Bell. You made a bonehead decision. Come on back out here and try to recoup some of the money you just lost.
Hey, Q, I know
Hmm?
this is hindsight. Can I bring this up? I was looking
What's
at
up?
the Super Bowl. You know, we all was. I was seeing that defensive tackle. I'm talking about for the Philadelphia. What was his name? We were slated to
Carter.
get Carter.
Carter.
I was thinking about that. Like Panthers, they were set up to be prosperous by now. You know what I'm saying? They would have drafted him, then try to, keep Sam Darnold or something like that. Then maybe trade it up. We had the team right there. We was ready. We just traded for the wrong one at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Looking at that whole situation. Because I mean, but with the lineman, I'm sorry, the defensive line we could have had. That's what I was thinking. You wouldn't be able to throw no passes against us. You know what I'm saying? With that rush, we would have had.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Had we stayed at 9 and took Carter and built the defense and built the team the correct way, you wouldn't be sitting here 2 years later trying to redo the same thing you should have did that damn year.
That's what I was thinking
It's
too.
stupid.
That's
To
what I was
me,
thinking. I was
it's
like, we
the
would have had
most
the defense
stupid
set.
shit. Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Be good. We always a day late and a dollar short. And it's because you keep chasing after the quarterback position instead of letting it come to you. Washington let it came to them. The Patriots let it came to them. We decided we could go on a manhunt for the quarterback. That's where you fuck up at. Because it's like, first of all, the quarterback position is not the position for you to sit here and experiment on. Because number one, you can go get a low value guy and get the most out of them. But when you go target high value guys and pay them big money, it'll put you behind the 8 ball. This is
Straight
what
up.
happened with Teddy Bridgewater. This is what happened with Sam Darnold. You had two quarterbacks at the moment you were paying $20+ million to. Stupid shit. And then once you get them boys out here, you say, well, I'm going to go bring Cam back in. I'm going to give him 10 that year. You have $50 million committed. Do you realize you could have had a Patrick Mahomes for the money that you spent in 1 year on quarterbacks?
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it was the QB carousel.
And then after you fuck that up, instead of you build your defense the correct way and let the quarterback come to you, because everybody told him last year was the year to go and get quarterbacks. You had 6 of them in that motherfucking first round, and all 6 of them boys was official. There ain't a damn quarterback out there fucking first round that wasn't official. Between Drake May, Caleb Williams, uh, 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 Bo Nix, Michael Penix, goddamn it, JJ McCartney, all them boys was official. You could have took your pick, build the defense the right way, and we could have had one of them boys staying us into the future.
Amen. Better preach.
But
I
no,
believe if we would have did that, we'd been the playoff team this year, easy.
Talk your
we
shit,
would have
gang, bro.
we would have won this division about 2 years in a row, probably.
Yeah,
Be good.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was looking at that Super Bowl. What we could have had right
Think
then and
about
there.
it.
We
Be
just
good.
been patient.
Be good. Listen to this real quick. You'd have had Carter, Brian Burns, Derek Brown. You'd have had Jeremy Chin back there still. Frankie Louvu, Shaq Thompson for what he worked, for what he worth. You'd have had a team where you just went and got Young Bull over there, you at linebacker, and then you looking around, you can go pick up a Josie Jewell, add to that mix. You'd have a tenacious front seven. A tenacious, because Josie Jewell would be a great rotational piece, just like my man just said. Not a good starter.
I
You
get
shouldn't
what
be
you're saying,
relying
but
on him.
did he say it? A good rotational piece.
That was a damn good
Uh,
way of putting it too.
Yes, sir.
but people don't
Hold on, so hey,
understand it. Like you say, as
hold,
soon as they put that black on, everybody swear they Superman out here for some reason.
Ain't
You
it
know what I'm
though?
hold
saying?
on. Was
Checking for him.
are we going back to get Jeremy Chin?
That nigga is
I'm,
a free agent, and I swear to God, he better not even look this way, cause the way how the Panther fans treat that nigga, so, Petey, I wouldn't give a. I let these boys kiss the third inner crust of my ass. All that
I
shit
mean,
y'all talking about,
are
I
you hearing?
can't cover, I can't stop, I can't tackle. All that shit they talk about with Jeremy Chin, I can't do this, I can't do that. I ain't shit.
Are you hearing this?
Jeremy Chin ain't
Are
shit.
you hearing this? Are you hearing the same shit that I'm hearing? Like the Buzz talking about going back to go try to get him.
I heard some crazy motherfucker say that, and you didn't appreciate the nigga when you had him.
Sure didn't. I ain't gonna lie.
It's
They did not like old Brian
desperation.
Burns.
Brian Burns, they talk cash shit about Brian Burns. Oh, he's not worth 30 million. He isn't worth this. He isn't worth that right there.
What was it, Q? He doesn't get the Bosa sacks.
Impact sacks is what they say. Impact
Oh,
sacks.
Hey,
He
Q,
don't get
was Bosa?
Bosa numbers.
Did Bosa put up numbers this year?
Bosa ain't put up shit this year, but 10 sacks, barely.
The same one he put up the year before he left here.
Yeah.
He had
All I was
one more
saying,
sack than Burns.
And I'll try to break it down to one dude. And I got heated. I mean, I shouldn't have, but I was trying to explain to him if Burns was in the whole San Francisco, you know what I'm saying, situation. I'm not saying he had been better than Bosa, but I'm just saying he would have been able to put up 10 to 12 sacks a year. You know what I'm saying? Dudes like, man, you lost me with him comparing him to him. I was like, bro, listen to what I'm saying. He's gonna put up numbers. Is it gonna be on the same level as Buddy? No, I'm just saying if he was in that system, he would flourish. Dude was like, nah, bro, I just can't see it. I was like, bro, you know how irritating that is, Q, when they ain't trying to listen to what you're saying. Because you know Burns would flourish.
Mm.
If he got a chance to play with San Francisco, I'm talking about team where they like last year. Burns would have 10 to 12 sacks easy each year. You know that, Q.
Mm-hmm.
But dudes over there, like you said, they disrespected him, saying he wasn't worth that money, acting like the cap space don't go up for some reason.
Well,
I mean, the cap,
and
yeah.
let me tell you something, Be Good. I'm tired of having to explain to people that his impact, he had to drop back and cover. That's less opportunities to get after the quarterback. That's less opportunities you have to be able to impact a game. I don't think
My
they
brother Elaine broke
understand.
that down, bro. That's how I
Thank you.
knew.
Shout out to Elaine, man. Shout out to him,
He
man.
broke it
Panther
down. He
Theory.
said he had the least amount of compared to like certain players in the league. He had like 100 less or something like that, or it was something
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I was like, I didn't even know he didn't even had that. He didn't even have as much pass attempts as they got, but they showed. Fans wasn't
Mm-hmm.
hearing it. They were saying, "Hey, make an impact," even though they running the ball. You know what I mean?
They want that man to be Superman. Well, why is he not getting sacks? Don't you see the bitch in coverage? I mean, you stupid motherfucker. What you want the man to do? The man can't go after the quarterback when he dropping back to cover a fucking a running back or a tight end. I mean, goddamn.
Hugh,
And
they
then they
hated
had
that
this
man.
philosophy. They just hated him, dog. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, the fans felt like he wasn't worth the money, and they came up. Let me tell you something. Be good. When it's time to pay a nigga around here, you better be Jesus Christ and the Latter Day Saints to get your money. That's the
Hugh, I
only way you
always
get a
say
tithe.
it's the Southern Mafia mentality around here.
Yeah,
Oh, they want the best, but they don't want to pay for it. I
they
tell people
damn
that
sure
all
ain't
the
paying
time.
for it. They get your ass up out of here before they gotta pay you. I'm gonna tell you that now. So
That's what I'm saying. It's like we groom the players to be what they're gonna be. You know, so we know what they're gonna become. Then we discredit them all. So they say, "Nah, he ain't worth it." And people say, "Nah, we don't do that. We did that to Julius Peppers."
well, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I'm about to get up out of here because here come the Josie Jewel enthusiasts over here. Now be
What
mindful.
they saying? What they saying, Q?
He said he played in 5 less games than Louvu, had 2 less tackles. So he trying to say he was more productive than an All Pro. That's what he's trying to say, but it's not resonating well on a team that come out here and win 5 games.
Q,
So
I tell them this
them
right here and
numbers,
there. Who would you choose, Luvu, or you gonna choose? What's his name again on our team? Zach.
Josie Jewell,
What's that?
Josie Jewell.
Who you gonna choose, Q?
I'm choosing Louvu every time because he's a more
Yeah.
impactful player.
See, they
Way
don't
more impact.
understand that. They look at numbers and then they'd be like, well, they had the same type of production, bro. It's not the same. You got to watch
It's
the
not the
game.
same. The context behind them numbers is completely different. Louisville games were more impactful because one, they're in a position where they can go to the playoffs. And he was making positive plays with positive yardage. Josie Jewell, think about it. His stats are going to be inflated because one, he don't got no D tackles. He don't got nobody that's going to get more tackles than him because he got nobody in front of him. So when he says stats Q, nigga, context. There was no D tackles on this fucking team to stop him from stop any next level guys. and Josie Jewell was just running around making as many tackles as he want, and it's going to be like that because the team is structured differently. It's structured
I would
differently,
say
dog.
this. I would say this, Q. A lot of people love when they talk about stats, and stats are important. I'm not gonna lie, they sit there, they're not. They don't tell the whole story. I'll tell you
Okay,
this: people will give me stats all the time. I was like, who would you choose, Dak Prescott or my man that just won the Super Bowl?
thank you.
I'm just,
Now be
what I'm
good.
saying? He
Let me ask
don't.
you a
Yeah.
question. Let me ask you a question. Xavier Woods had 100 tackles and 4 interceptions. Would you take him, or would you take him over Kyle Hamilton over there at the Ravens?
Man, you be crazy as hell if you said something like that to me. I like, bro, you don't watch football. I like, we ain't having this conversation. I'm gonna have to, you be drinking you. I'm gonna have to leave this room. I got a drink in my hand. I ain't trying to waste.
And think about it. Xavier Woods on a losing team had more opportunities to come out here and get run assist tackles that ran his numbers up because there was nobody else around here to get the fucking tackles. So of course he running tackles up. He running tackles up. That's what I'm talking about with Josie Jewell. Josie Jewell running the numbers up because one, in 5 less games, he's gonna get more tackles because there ain't nobody else that's going to be more productive in the position that he's in. Nobody else gonna be more productive on his team. And if a nigga tell me they don't understand that, I'm just not even gonna argue with you.
You don't have to explain it to me. Me and you know when it comes to that, there ain't no arguing about that. If you don't choose Kyle Hamilton, I was like, bro, something wrong with you. You don't look like the what one of the best players in the league. You know what I'm saying?
But what they gonna say? He had better stats. He had better stats, so he a better player. But you know
Q,
good
that's that whole
goddamn
running.
well.
That's that running back situation that we got. He top
Yeah,
10. He top 10. It took him 5 years, bro. You know, he top
these
10 though. I was like,
these niggas be cherry picking, man. That's all this shit be. Cherry picking. At the end
it's
of the
true. I
day,
mean, I'm not even trying to die too. You know, you would choose 10 running backs over two. No, I would.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I list 10 that day that I would take over Chuba. And motherfucker tell me, no, I wouldn't take
It's cool. Hey, bro, I ain't trying to hold you up, bro. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
love talking. Y'all listen to you. Y'all, cause y'all don't filter nothing out. Y'all speak the truth. No matter how them fans don't want to hear it, but at least, hey, we got some people out here rather speak the truth and not lie to you. So now I'm taking money. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But go ahead and give me your last words on your way on out, cuz.
I hope the Panthers prove me wrong. That's the most optimism I can give somebody. I hope they prove me wrong. I don't believe it, but I hope they prove me wrong. And shout out to you, Q, for doing the show tonight. What today?
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, cuz. Look, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all comment, y'all like, subscribe. Stats do matter to me, but like I just put it out there, one guy could have 100 tackles, but we know that he is not a better player than a particular other player. It's just he had a different set of circumstances. So you got to look at the context with the stats. So to anybody out there, make sure you put two and two together before you start trying to make four a reality. Shout out to
And that
everybody
dude
in the
mad
chat.
about that.
That ain't nobody but Andrew.
I just read the message you talking about. I
Yeah,
only did a fast stat. Oh,
yeah,
bro.
that
Shout
ain't
out to you,
nobody
bro.
but Drew, man. Shout out to her, man. But anyway, to each his own. Y'all boys have a good one tonight.